All right, gents, here's the update. What we're doing is a 300D Mercedes. This is 1984, I think. I think this is the last year they made them. This is supposed to be the million-mile diesel engine, 5-cylinder, 3-liter, automatic, 269,000 miles, at least it says. The engine did turn over. I couldn't get it started because the battery died already. I guess it's too cold for it. But here we go. This thing is smacked on the side, which is not a problem for us because it's a scrapper anyways. Yeah, and Washington is definitely cold and snowy. Hello. Смотрим видео. Так, белая, зеленая, переходничок. Прозрачную сюда. Бело-коричневая сюда уходит. От этого. Потом вот эта коричневая синяя идет сюда в инжектор. Это идет в инжектор. С этого тройника, с четверки, вот у нас какой-то сплиттер скрученный в два желтых пошел назад. Этот черный один пошел туда. Это походу какой-то провод. Короче, тут все вот так пошло. Пока. All right, remember the vacuum line. So this is my first ever Mercedes like this. So I believe from my research right now is that a bunch of these vacuum lines go to the transmission. They control the transmission, so make sure you're not messing up on your vacuum lines. I'm having to pull the alternator out to get to the AC condenser line there or something, whether I'm not able to get that disconnect, so I'm going to work on that. Seems like the previous owner never had the AC working, which is not a bad thing, so I didn't have to drain anything. You press this guy a little bit, and if there's nothing coming out, it's empty. That's kind of nice. So generally get that out of the way, and then I have steering to remove. And from there, we're going to be going more deep into the stuff. I think this is the throttle linkage here. Pull the pin here, and then this guy will come out here, and then on this end also a ring, and this thing comes out, so fairly easy. I'm gonna take a wild guess right now without researching that this is probably cruise control if it has it, but might be not cruise control, so might have something to do with other stuff. I don't know if it has a cruise control. Does it have a cruise control? It does. So we have cruise control. Hey, for the record, 269,000 miles. All right, so far so good. Let's keep going. Greetings to all OM617 diesel appreciative folks. Hey, my name is Nick. I'm doing a little project and I'm looking for some help from the OM community on the vacuum line setup. So the simple question is, the only vacuum need that I do have, and most of you probably realize that as well, is for the vacuum line to go into transmission through the VCV valve. I did some studying up, questioning some of the groups and forums, and I'm having two opinions where some people are like, who gives a whatever, crap, just run transmission without any vacuum. But then many are recommending to not do that because of the hard shifts, and eventually the transmission will take a crap, which we don't want, obviously. So in my case, I would ask to anybody who has any knowledge to recommend, please advise. So I've obviously adjusted some things. So two has got bent, adjusted to this guy. So pump direction here, and this is how it was removed from the vehicle. Obviously length have been changed a little bit. So my understanding is from this guy possibly I need to go to the VCV valve. This one's supposed to breathe out to the atmosphere, and this line should go to the transmission. And through Mercedes Source, I think is the name of the guy, gentleman on YouTube and online, he sells this adjustable orifice which I need to get for the transmission. Good thing I got brakes. Springtime snowcatting. So far, we are performing as expected. This thing actually gets up and goes fairly good. No complaints. Possibly maybe upgrade the clamps a little bit. Had one pop off, but that was okay, acceptable. Other than that, everything good. Good time. A little wet snow. We're at the intersection. So far, so good. What an awesome day to be out in the middle of nowhere. Definitely good sunny weather. Well, I figured maybe I'd do some brake repairs. So, did a little no-no caused by me. Apparently I loosened the tightening, the tensioning part that tenses up the brake drums or drum brakes, and I had a slave cylinder pop out. Alright, the story continues. So I need to get this wheel off to get to the drum. And the problem is I don't have a jack. Normally you would put a jack under the axle and lift it up. There's no suspension here, so there's no flex. But we don't have a jack. So option A, dig the snow from under the side of this wheel so that the tracks will obviously droop a little bit into the hole, into the opening, and the wheel come off. But I'm going to try, deflated the tire. I'm going to see if tire will actually come right off because the cat is resting another 3. So let's see where that goes. Hey, welcome to BudNixon channel. We're having a great time, right, Vasily? Look at that, great time.
Life is adventures.
And life is full of adventures. So, test run on a cat. The engine, everything performing excellent. But the steering got a little wet. So I figured I would loosen up the drums, maybe make it a little bit easier on me. But apparently I loosened it too much, which has caused the adjuster to get too loose, and the brake pad, I'll show you probably, maybe, whatever. Anyways, the brake pad slid off the slave and slave popped out. So we have no steering, thus no brakes, thus we can only steer one way. Well, that's one way to get home, I guess, if you really need to. But we're gonna try to do this. So as I anticipated, there it is. And we got brake fluid all over the place. Anyway, so back to adjusting things the right way, putting it back and assemble it all backwards. All right, let's get this done. It is hard to believe after everything has taken place. We're back at the truck in one piece. So, lost a slave cylinder there. It still popped out. Steering only with the left side. So when you need to steer the opposite, you gotta back up and steer left to counter steer to the right, if that makes any sense. And then about 4 miles to the truck, I had a brake line that popped on the left side, so we lost complete steering. And steering is what makes this thing turn, or the brakes. So no brakes anywhere. So I stole a brake line from the other side, which is in up anyways, put it on this side, literally used last drops of brake fluid and got us to the truck. And it's still light outside. Hallelujah. Good days. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna load up and head home for dinner.